I can start with how we did it here in India. So in India there is this mission called Swamitva, and as part of Swamitva we mapped more than 10,000 villages across India. And these were done by a drone which is sort of capturing pictures with 70-80% overlap. And then all of those pictures are being stitched together, they are being georeferenced, and then you create a very large orthomosaic which is georeferenced, and so you are able to create a map. Now we thought about it that why can't we do something similar on Moon, and similar numbers would work out. If you could fly at 50 meters and you have those kind of cameras, which we could do on Earth, we could generate similar GST on Moon. Except that there's a lot of area to cover, so probably you'd want to map the South Pole first, where there seems to be a lot of interesting things happening. So perhaps we map the polar region first, which is sort of doable in a reasonable time. And by reasonable time I mean it could even take a year. But if we have a lot of those drones, and maybe that time can also come back, can be sort of reduced. So.
Thank you. So, but you did not talk about how do you fly a drone.
Okay.
So,
well, yeah, I can.
You can also talk about, we speak about propulsion on Earth and propulsion in space. But I wanted to understand a little bit more about microgravity in different planets. How do you fly drones in different planets?
Well, so it depends. So on Mars, which still has 1% air, you've seen the NASA sent a drone and actually worked for a very long time there. I think it just recently crashed. In fact, it is still sending signals, but it can't fly now. But with that 1% air, you could still manage. The only thing is that your drone needs to have very high RPM, so that you're pushing a lot more air. So the main idea behind any type of propulsion system is how much mass or energy can you push out. So the more you can push, the more lift you get as a result of Newton's third law. And so when there's very little air, you want to push a lot of volume very quickly. So very rapid, very high RPM motors, and they will generate the kind of thrust you will need in a place like Mars. But in a place like Moon, where there is absolutely no air, now you can't rely on air. But instead of that, you could have ion-based propulsions, where, as Professor Sir was explaining, you would have these ions going down and they are giving you the energy to go up. And then you could have chemical-based as well, but then that would mean that you have to carry a lot of fuel. Our idea was if we could somehow make it electric plus ion-based, so that we just have to recharge our batteries with the solar power over there, then this could work out.
Thank you. Now I'd like to come back to Sudhir sir.